People, hello, how are you all doing? I hope we're all doing well. Just got back from rugby. Thought now is as good a time as any at roughly, 10:30 at night to jump on and talk a little bit about AJ Ngannou just being announced. How do I feel about it? Well, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I didn't like the Fury Ngannou fight. Yeah, I thought about the hair and stuff. It's just obviously rugby. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I didn't like the Fury Ngannou fight, but suddenly I love the AJ Ngannou fight. Because I don't, right? No, obviously I don't. If I did, quite hypocritical of me. That said, you got to look at it and you got to go, this fight would not be happening if Fury did his job. If Fury did his job and got rid of Ngannou like everyone thought he would, everyone said he would, everyone expected he would, got rid of Ngannou like the heavyweight lineal, WBC champion of the world, this fight wouldn't be happening. It just simply wouldn't. Ultimately, he couldn't do his job. Now you can look at it and you can go, Fury had a really bad day. No one expected Ngannou to be as good as he was. You know, Fury didn't take the fight seriously. Whichever way you flip it and look at it, maybe it's a mixture of them all. But ultimately, bottom line, he didn't get the job done properly. He controversially won. Did he win? Perhaps. I've watched the fight back a few times, and maybe I think he won just about. Well, certainly wasn't convincing. And the fact we're able to debate it, and it was a split decision. I think a split decision is fair. Because ultimately boxing is subjective; it's not objective. And Fury probably did win, right? But I'm glad one judge gave it a favour to Ngannou. It makes it a bit more. I think that's probably fair, right? So I think that's right. I think that's fair. But ultimately, Ngannou comes out a winner because he didn't get utterly embarrassed like everyone thought he would have and should have. That then sets up the fights against, your Wilders, your Joe Joyce, your Zhilei Zhang, your AJ for him. Now, I still don't like it, and I still do think, of course, there's a risk. Heavyweight boxing, Francis Ngannou, there's definitely that risk he's going to catch you, and you are good night, son. Do I think that's going to happen? No. AJ inside 5. It really should be AJ inside 5. By that, well, inside 6. By that, I mean like 5th round kind of thing. Inside 6. Because Ngannou's got a chin and he can take a hit, but just come on. I mean, AJ can hit hard, and again, like I said with Otto Wallin, he's kind of the ideal height for AJ in that he's smaller than AJ, which AJ likes, and voice crack, and he's not too much smaller than AJ like Usyk, where he doesn't like it. Ngannou likes to go a bit of southpaw, a bit of orthodox, mix it up. I don't think AJ's going to struggle with that. He's a big old unit, and so is AJ. And I think in terms of boxing ability, AJ is just levels above him. And you can even watch back the Fury and Ngannou fight. AJ just is levels above him. So hopefully, AJ does a job on him and gets him out of there within, dismantles him and gets him out of there soon within the time limit that, Fury should have. And then we could put a rest to all this. I don't want to call it exhibition because it's not anymore. Because of the Fury fight, like I said, that's what set this up. That's what's laid the path for your AJs, your Zhangs, your Joyces, etc. I don't really think it's an exhibition anymore. But I would say it is a slight step down. It's hard to say that because of the Fury performance, but he still is a novice. He still is new, a rookie. This isn't his sport. So it's one of them. It's better now than it was against Fury because, again, Fury was the one that let this happen, kind of thing. Ultimately, you can't really blame AJ because AJ is going to do the job that Fury should have done, right? Which is get him out of there, hopefully. Also, AJ wanted the Wilder fight, which now can't happen because Wilder lost. So he's kind of just clearing up the division, holding it up, if you will. And when you're looking at it, the Wilder replacement, when you look at it as rather than what makes sense for AJ, and as a Wilder replacement. They're two different things. We've done the AJ replacement, sorry, the what's best for AJ, which to be fair, I gave three names: Hrgovic, Ngannou, and Zhang. Probably in that order. Get rid of Zhang, because Zhang gives you the interim title, which really is no better than a mandatory. Because Usyk and Fury probably won't just stop boxing. Yeah, it means if they stop boxing, you get the title, rather than having to fight someone like a mandatory. It's probably not going to happen. you know. So, and you'd rather go for the IBF Hrgovic easier than Zhang, but the IBF over the Zhang, because at the end of the day you're probably more likely to fight for the IBF, right? So you get rid of Zhang straight away because financially no draw really. Maybe in China, I don't know, but not a huge draw. Huge risk, and not a lot of reward, right? So obviously financially, but also outside of that. So you kind of get rid of Zhang quite quick. You're left with Hrgovic and Ngannou, right? In terms of boxing, in terms of 4AJ, you got to go Hrgovic. You just got to go Hrgovic. He's the better boxer. He's a mandatory. In terms of money and finances and spectacle event, you go Ngannou. But for AJ's kind of path, you look at it and you go Hrgovic, right? I'd imagine that fight with Fury Usyk, there's just too many unknowns. There's too many what ifs. What if they want a rematch and then you say Usyk wins, Usyk comes out unscathed, Fury gets a massive cut. Well, we'll do a rematch then. Okay, well, in the meantime, because you got hit from the cut, I'll do my mandatory, Hrgovic. Do you know what I mean? There's too many unknowns. What if that happens? What if they don't strip him straight away? And AJ wants to be active. So from that point of view, okay, maybe Ngannou, but all other avenues point to Hrgovic. That said, you're looking at this. Saudis had planned AJ Wilder March 9th or 15th, whatever the fuck. They planned it, right? You look at that. Wilder's now no longer an option. Okay, well, who else is a huge boxer, not a massive boxer, similar to Wilder, not a great boxing IQ, massive puncher. Wilder fits that bill. Ngannou, the hardest punch on recorded history. Recorded record, that's kind of self-explanatory. Not, hardest punch in recorded history. That's Ngannou. Boxing novice, not particularly fantastic. That's Ngannou. You know what I'm trying to say? So it fits the bill. Okay, we can't get that heavy hitter. We'll get this heavy hitter. You can't get that. Should be losing, but then bang out of nowhere. You can't get him. Well, suddenly you can get him. Especially with the display. If anything, the display you put up against Fury makes him probably a bit better than Wilder. So from that aspect, you got to go, okay, Ngannou. I prefer it for AJ. I do think, watching that Wilder fight, you got to be thinking if AJ thought he was, was in there then, would have been fantastic. But is what it is. He's just done Otto Wallin, one of Fury's opponents. Now if he goes and dismantles Ngannou in 5 rounds, like he did with Otto Wallin, you got to be thinking he's lining himself up for that Fury shot quite well. You know what I mean? And I prefer Ngannou for AJ than I do Wilder. They're both pretty bad boxers. I think AJ's better boxing than both of them, right? By some distance as well. And I also think AJ's a harder hitter than Fury. So I reckon he would have stopped Wilder quite quick because, well, it depends how shy he is. But he's a harder hitter than Fury. And if Fury could hurt him, if Parker could hurt him, AJ can hurt him. Ngannou, we didn't really see. I mean, Fury chucked in an elbow, and Ngannou still didn't really look phased, if we're honest. So I don't know how, pretty durable chin. 260 pounds of lean muscle would do that. So basically, you got to look at it and go, would you rather fight a 6'7", 215-pound guy, or a 6'4", 260-pound guy? Would you rather the height or the weight? Right? Now, if I'm AJ, I'd rather the weight because you're a big guy as well. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You're probably not going to lean on Wilder or Ngannou and try and bully them how Fury did because he's not that boxer. He'll stick behind his jab, out of range, and try and take away that power punch. I'll read your punch. I'll see it coming a million miles away. I'll box around, bang, I'll make you scared to hit me. And when you do hit me, counter, counter, bang, bang. Do you know what I mean? Combos, speed. He's not going to go in there and lean on you and lie on you like Fury did, like Parker did. I don't think he'd do that. I think he'd try and not box on the back foot, but box and set it up like he did against Otto, against Violin. Take your attributes away because I can box better than you. We'll do this all day, mate. And if the knockout comes, the knockout comes, but we'll go around all day. It's harder to do that when someone's got a longer reach than you and can just jab. Wilder, right? And I think he'd also be a bit more scared, like we saw with Hellenius, to close that distance and get it within that bang, that lethal shot range. I think he'd be a bit more scared to get within that distance because ultimately Wilder's got that, so he can catch you on the way. I've been there, you'll go in, you get nice and quick, bang, 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 and you get caught on the way out because they've just got that long reach. You know what I mean? Ngannou hasn't got that. And so he wouldn't really use the weight advantage. I think the weight advantage would mean he could hit Wilder and he'd feel it more because he's so much bigger than him, which he won't have with Ngannou. But other than that, I think the weight advantage he's not going to use it as much. He won't be going in the clinch as much. He won't be lying on you as much like Fury. He likes to box, doesn't he? So I'd rather someone a little bit shorter than me who weighs a bit more. You know what I mean? Because then you can box, do what you want to do, get with good punches. Especially as a boxing novice, catch him, and you're gone before we can land his big hits. Whereas Wilder, because of his height, kind of has that opportunity to. So for me, as an AJ fan, seeing these two opponents, I prefer Ngannou. I think styles make fights, and very similar styles, but the attributes Wilder possesses makes him. Firstly, I think Wilder punches harder than Ngannou. I don't think there's a lot in it, but I do think Wilder punches harder than Ngannou. But also, the reach and the speed to hit you with, I think, is there. And I'd rather not face that and face someone who can lie on you and hold your weight when you lie on them, because you're not going to do that, really. You're going to try and box them. You're going to try and take their attributes away. You said, I'll take your attributes away. He's going to box them, isn't he? So for me, I prefer the Ngannou fight. I think AJ makes easy work of it. I think that it's going to embarrass Fury. Ultimately, this will be after Fury Usyk, so we'll see, right? But if, hypothetically, Usyk beats Fury, AJ dismantles Ngannou, all of a sudden, Fury's legacy, Fury's resume, Fury's ability is being heavily shrouded upon. We'll see, right? But it's one of them. I quite like the fight. I don't hate it at all. There's certainly worse options out there, and that's the thing. If he wasn't going to take Hrgovic, he could have gone for a bit more of a chill, laid back. Not chill, laid back. Obviously, it's a fight, but he could have dropped down. Could have done a Hrgovic. All right, and just fought on nobody. Because if you're not going to fight Hrgovic, Wilder's just lost. You could have gone for a Mark Demore. Do you know what I mean? You could have gone for almost a nobody, a Junior Farr, somebody that's just keeping the cogs turning, keeping you active. Because you're not going to fight Wilder because he's just lost. You're not going to fight Hrgovic. You could have done, but if hypothetically in this scenario he's not fighting Hrgovic, who are you left with? Don't mind Ngannou. Don't at all. Because now he's in the mix. Now there's that what if, that wow factor, the who knows factor. We don't know much. What we do know is he went the distance with Fury and almost beat him by knockout and by points. He wasn't far behind. So you're kind of looking at it going, there's that wow factor. If AJ can go in there and just get rid of that, but look, he's nothing special. Bang, got rid of him. I'm a boxer. I don't want to say clear up the sport, because fair play to Ngannou, so much respect. And I'm not saying clear up, get rid of him. And I also think even if AJ beats him, people are just going to turn around and go, yeah, well, we should have done, it's AJ. I still want to see him versus a Dillian White. I still want to see him versus a Wilder. I still think that'll happen. But to go in there and go, look, there are levels to this. People are just going to go, yeah, well, we expected that. And it would be good for him to go, well, look, I'm not the guy who everyone was going, oh, he's lost his this, he's scared. I want to know the guy with the hardest hit in recorded history. And I've gone in there with the guy who dropped Fury and nearly outboxed him. You think I'm scared? Do you know what I mean? I think that's what this is. Went in there against Otto Wallin, dismembered him, made him quit on his stool after 5 rounds. Was going to go in there with Wilder, his other big opponent, but he was already taken care of. He avoided me for years. He ducked me for years. Different story, but you know what I mean? He ducked me for years. Now I didn't even get to fight him. So do you know what I did on it, Ngannou, the guy who just nearly beat him, the guy who just dropped him, nearly outboxed him for 10 rounds, complete novice. I didn't know of him. Heavy hit. And you can argue heavy hit of the Wilder because it's the hardest hit on recorded history. And you can go, well, I didn't know of him. And look what I did to him. How are you going? And look how quick this fight's been made. Look how quick. Like that. You know what I mean? Just done deal. Bang. Wilder lost. Who else? Ngannou? Yeah, fuck it. Do you know what I mean? And you go, clearly I'm not scared. You know? I don't hate it, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys I love it because I don't. Same as the Fury fight. I do think there are just levels to it. And if look, AJ might go in there and get knocked. Look, I didn't write him off. I did literally. I said last time. I said with the Fury and Ngannou, I was like, there's just a feeling I've got. There's just a feeling I've got. And Ngannou's going to do something. But you got to back Fury and you should make this look easy. Everyone did, right? And then look what happened. So I don't want to write him off and say I'll walk through him. But really, come on. There are levels to this, and I don't want to see AJ stooping down. You know, he sort of came back. Franklin, Hellenius, maybe there or thereabouts. I'd say Franklin Hellenius only because Franklin training for Dillian White to Hellenius because he wasn't prepared for it. Kind of maybe Franklin Hellenius, a slight step. Otto Varlin, and then sort of your Ngannou. There's that, do you know what I'm trying to say? You don't really want that. You want to see him in there with a Zhang or a Hrgovic or a Dubois, a high level guy and really cement himself. But you got to blame Fury because Fury is the reason Ngannou's being mentioned in this in the first place. We've all said, what next for AJ? Hrgovic, Zhang, or Ngannou. We've all said that. Even before the Wilder lost, Ngannou was chucked in the mix. Do you know what I mean? He's always been in that. And it's thanks to Fury. If Fury did what he was supposed to do, go in there and blow him out of the ring, then, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, this fight's not being yapped about. But I'm not able to yap about it for 17 minutes, 18 minutes, because Fury didn't do his job. And that's the top and bottom of it. So I don't love it. But that's Fury's fault. And in terms of now, the here and now, and how you got to look at it, it's hard to say this is a bad decision. Because he's going to go in there, he's going to look sick doing what Fury couldn't. And suddenly his name's right up there again. And you can't say he's scared. I mean, do you know what I'm trying to say? So that's my kind of, do you know what I mean? That's my spiel on it. You with me? So I don't love it, but it's hard not to like it. It's hard to look at it and go, this isn't a good fight. You kind of have to. Someone had to go in there and right Fury's wrong. Fury ain't gonna, if I'm Fury, I'm saying I'll hook away from that. Do you know what I mean? At least until after Usyk. Get Usyk done, bang, then do it. I personally wanted to see Wilder versus Ngannou. And to be fair, especially now that Wilder's lost, probably see my video, I don't know if I might upload this now, but especially after Wilder's lost, bang, get Claire Ngannou out. Do what Fury couldn't. But someone's got to do it. And if I'm Fury, I'm not going near him until after Usyk. You know what I mean? So someone's got to do it. And who have you got? Wilder, not anymore. AJ, okay. Zhang, yeah, potentially. AJ is the one to step up to the mark. And for that reason, I quite like the fight. You know what I mean? As long as there's no hour-long fucking break between co-main and main like there was last time. Fucking hell, what was that about? His Excellency. I learned from that mistake, didn't he? Fucking hell, dare reckon a bit there. But personally, I'd like to thank His Excellency for doing such a... No, I'm joking, but yeah, no, I don't hate it. Don't hate it. Don't love it, but I do like it. AJ inside 6. I'm going at the moment. Subject to change, but look, he's staying active. That's the main thing. That's what I like to see. AJ's got a bright future. Thank you for watching, people. You know how YouTube works. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, yeah? Peace, people. Take it easy.